Despite his love for Sita, Lord Ram felt compelled to subject her to a trial by fire, or Agni-pariksha, to test if she is pure. Sita, who was deeply hurt by Lord Ram's lack of trust in her, bravely underwent the Agni-pariksha to prove her purity. In a miraculous turn of events, the gods themselves intervened, making the fire cool and harmless as Sita emerged unscathed and pure. Later on, when Lord Ram welcomed Sita back to his kingdom, a shocking accusation by a washerman forced him to make an impossible decision that left Sita wandering in the forest, alone and pregnant. But do you know that this entire event is not true?
And Rama is also an insecure person.
But at that time again some political issue happens. Once again send her into the jungle once again without him, separation.
She's not a tribal woman, she's a princess, not fit to be in the jungle.
And when you look at Ramayana, the way Sita was treated,
let us take you on a journey back in time to 1987, when India was hooked onto the television screens, watching the series Ramayana that aired on Doordarshan television channel. The show, created, written and directed by the legendary Ramanand Saagar, instantly captured the hearts of audiences across the nation. As the series approached its end, Ramanand Saagar decided to add more episodes to the story, taking viewers beyond Lord Ram's return to Ayodhya. It was during these episodes that Sita had to undergo a trial by fire, or Agni-pariksha, to prove her purity. This was the first time that many Indians got to see Lord Ram's other side, a man of high values and moral character, also capable of doubting his wife's integrity. However, what many do not know is that Ramanand Saagar was reluctant to add more episodes until he received a call from the Prime Minister's office. Are you curious to know why the PMO intervened? Stay tuned to find out the reason behind this unexpected turn of events. Let us now take a moment to watch a couple of short videos featuring Sadhguru, who was asked a series of questions related to Lord Ram's decision.
since you've mentioned Mahabharata, Ramayana and all the scriptures, and also we've been speaking about being…
If I can correct that.
Please.
See, we should not misunderstand what is a scripture and what is a very organic way of writing our history. An epic is a historical document written in a lively form so that it's relevant to you all the time. See, right now, the modern way of… Western way of writing history is like this. This king came, he killed so many people, he did this, he did that, he died. And next one came, he did this, he did that, he died. What are you going to do with this? I'm saying 1000 years ago, somebody lived or died, what does it matter to you? But when you read Ramayana, Mahabharata, these are live stories so that you can relate it to you even today. So this is genuinely learning from the past, because the basis of being human is just this, that we can learn from somebody else's experience. All the nonsense need not happen to us. By seeing something is happening to somebody, we can learn. Maybe it happened 5000 years ago, but we can still correct our lives by looking at what happened to them. So, historical documents written in a very organic way need not be mistaken for scriptures. There is nothing scriptural about Mahabharata or Ramayana, they're just stories. History which is written in a way that it'll always be relevant for people's lives.
Exactly, that is my point. Mahabharata, Ramayana, they are very, very relevant to our society. And when you look at Ramayana, the way Sita was treated, you know, these examples of women being treated by men the way they want to treat them, they have certainly left an imprint in the minds of Indian men. There's no doubt about that. Since you said these are the learnings that we take from the past, and we have dramatized them, put them in a very good way, and our grandfathers recite these poems, and these are day-to-day household stories. So my question to you, Sadhguruji, is, you know, when you have to learn from these things, when you have been learning from these things from generations, Ramayana, Mahabharata and many more stories, how do we expect the current Indian man to not treat his wife like Sita, or not treat his wife like Draupadi? I mean, for this generation, we truly want to understand, how do you unlearn these things that we have learned all our life? And how do you hit a refresh button and start all over again by looking at a woman as a respectable figure, as an individual, as a person living and some thinking in her. How do we teach this to our children? That is what I want to learn.
Let me ask the ladies, would they like to be treated like Sita? Let me put it in the right perspective. Suppose you were living in Uttar Pradesh, not today, 5,000 years ago, and a man came from Sri Lanka and kidnapped you. Would you like a man who will walk all the way to Sri Lanka to find you, or find a practical solution locally, because anyway he was king? I'm asking you, what kind of man do you want in your life? The man walked all the way, fought a battle, burned down a city to get back his wife. It's not a small thing. A 6,000-year-old drama, if it got little mixed up, it is not your problem. The problem is just this, is there something for us to get from that? That's all the thing is. Now, why we are worshipping Rama in this country is, he's not a super success, he's a serial disaster, if you look at it. Yes, right from the beginning of his life, he's in trouble and trouble and trouble and trouble. See, he's rightfully a king. He's coronated at the age of 17 or 18. He marries a princess, and within 1 or 2 years, he's sent to the forest. It is throwing him out of the kingdom from his power and everything. That itself would have shattered a man, but he settled down there.
But Rama is also an insecure person who, when Sita came back to him, first she sat through
We will come there, don't jump. First let's kidnap her, no? And you must understand, for a king, his wife is pregnant means it's not just about a child, it's a progeny for his empire and there are many things involved. But once again a political situation evolves where he has to send his wife to the forest, which you are saying is insecurity.
Not that part. So we can even begin from the first point in which, after he rescues Sita, Sita has to sit through a fire to prove that she is pure, so that other people will accept. Because Rama cared about how people saw him. Rama, when he came back, a random dhobi in your kingdom said that, Sita, I am not like Ram who will keep a woman in my house who might have a child which is not mine. For this, Rama sends away Sita again to the forest.
That is the insecurity you're talking about.
At any point, Rama wanted his people to love him.
So there are different types of responsibilities of you as a person. As a king, there are different responsibilities, and as a human, as a family member, you have different responsibilities. Now you can't just throw away your wife and send her to a jungle. It's like just objectifying her. It's not treating her like another human who's pregnant, who will need different things and have promised her different things.
You need to understand this in the right context, that is, if this woman didn't mean anything to her, he wouldn't have traveled down to Sri Lanka, fought a battle and brought her back.
This was his pride about…
How can you? His pride he could have got 100 wives around him if he wished, but he went for this person who means so much to him. The reason why he is worshipped today is, though life threw disasters after disasters at him, the man never became resentful, never became hateful, never became angry. He did not become a recluse either. He went about fulfilling every duty that he has to do with a personal pain and grief that he is carrying all his life. The man went about doing the best he can do for his praja of the day. If this is being accused of being as pride and this…
Let's rewind this video a little to take you back to uncover why Ramanand Saagar was initially hesitant to extend the episode count of Ramayana. As we all know that Ramayan was originally penned by Rishi Valmiki and divided into 7 Khans, with Uttar Khand as the final one. However, unlike many, Ramanand Saagar was aware that Uttar Khand, which portrays Ram in an unfavorable light, was not a part of Valmiki's original work. This was the reason that primarily led to his reluctance to add these episodes, which he eventually did, under pressure from the Prime Minister's office that was flooded with requests from the public, most of them unaware of what was to come. Same like Ramanand Saagar, not everyone believes that Valmiki wrote the last part of Ramayan. Many scholars, historians and learned people claim that the last part, Uttar Khand, was added later on by someone with an intention to tarnish the image of Lord Ram. So, what are the reasons that make these scholars reject the legitimacy of Uttar Khand? Firstly, at the end of the 6th Khand, that is, Yudh Khand, Valmiki summarizes and explains the greatness of Ramayan as a closing remark. Scholars question why Valmiki would add another Khand when he had already summarized the entire book in the 6th one. Secondly, those who have read all 7 Kands of Ramayana suggest that the quality of writing in Uttar Kand does not match Valmiki's style. They argue that the tone is also completely different from what Valmiki had been writing. And lastly, renowned actors from television industry in a podcast themselves shed light on the reason behind Ramanand Saagar adding more episodes from Uttar Kand. Let's watch the video to understand what they said.
You know, let me tell you one more thing. People say that washerman said that.
It was a lie. It had not happened at all.
That has
not happened at all.
It is not there. If you take Valmiki Ji's book, the episode ends when Ramji comes and he wears the crown. It is not mentioned.
I have heard this from Prem Sir Mouth, that Ramanand Saagar Ji didn't want to make Uttar Ramayan. He was pressurized by the then government of these people that you have to make that also, indeed. They said if you don't make it, we will give it to someone else to make it in DD. He got scared.
Someone else might spoil it badly.
Okay, I will make it, he cried. He didn't want to make it.
Although there are additional reasons that cast a clear doubt on the legitimacy of Uttar Kand, which is also known as Uttar Ramayan, we have only listed the 3 most prominent ones as we believe they are sufficient to uncover the truth. However, there may be individuals who are determined to believe falsehoods, and even if presented with 100 reasons, they will continue to cast doubt on anything positive about India's history and her icons. As we wrap up this video, we want to leave you with a thought-provoking question. Let's assume that the event described in Uttar Kand were true. Do you think that Lord Ram, who was righteous, truthful and compassionate, who demonstrated unwavering devotion to his duties as a prince, husband and king, who also went to great lengths to rescue his beloved wife from the demon king, would he really have sent his pregnant wife Sita to the jungle? We invite you to ponder on this question and share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Thank you.